Hello, and welcome to the Coliseum of Cryptids Learn to Play series. Here, we hope to teach the game of MetaZoo to beginner players as well as provide a resource that can be referenced in the future if you ever have questions about MetaZoo gameplay. In the last video, we discussed the basics and what is needed to get you ready to start a game of MetaZoo and how a game will begin. Now, let's go over what your turn is going to look like once that game has begun. The first thing to consider are start of turn effects. These are the first things that trigger when a new turn is started. These can be found on pages as arena effects and state that they occur at the start of your turn. Once all start of turn effects are resolved, it activates the first priority window of a turn. A priority window is a part of a turn where one of the casters has an opportunity to contract a page that states it can be contracted anytime or after a certain action has occurred. The other caster then has the same opportunity. The start of turn priority window gives the active caster or the caster who is starting their turn the first chance to contract anytime pages, followed by the opposing caster. You will then bookmark the top page of your spellbook and then awaken all the pages in the arena that you control. After completing the start of turn phase, the freedom of your turn begins. The majority of your turn consists of you performing a series of actions. There are 7 possible actions that you can take in this phase. It's important to note that these can be done in any order, and some can be performed as many times as you're able, but some can only be performed once per turn. The first action you should consider performing is contracting an aura page. Aura comes in awakened, so you are able to use it right away to contract other pages. You should definitely consider this being one of your first actions of your turn, so you have as much aura as possible. This is one of the actions that you can only do once per turn. The next possible action is contracting a Terra page. Terra pages have no contraction cost like aura, and you can play as many as you'd like. Note, though, that only 6 Terras can be in the arena at one time. If there are 6 already, the first Terra played will then leave the arena. First in, first out. Contracting all other page types is the next action you'll be able to perform. You can contract as many pages as you want on your turn as long as you can pay those pages' aura costs. The aura cost can be found in the top right corner of the page. Based on the aura type symbol next to the number, that is the type of aura that needs to be fatigued in order to play that card. If a card has a gray aura symbol, that means it's a neutral cost and any aura type can be used. For a beastie or artifact, any contract effects on the card will occur right before the page is considered in the arena. The next possible action is declaring an attack. You can fatigue a beastie in order to use an attack printed on the page. After the attack has been chosen, you must choose who you are targeting with the attack. After you have declared an attack, your opponent gets a priority window to play anytime pages. Your opponent then chooses a number of defenders to block your attack. A defender is chosen by fatiguing a page that has life points to block with. Note that the original target of an attack, if it is a page in the arena, does not need to be fatigued, only declared defenders. Your opponent will then have to choose a single attack on one of the defenders to make it the primary defender. Once defenders are declared, you get a priority window to play anytime pages. After that, your attack resolves. At this point, you must divvy up the damage dealt by your attack. Each defender must receive at least 5 damage. Then, after that, you may choose who takes the rest. It's also important to note that if the primary defender is not killed in this combat, it will hit your attacking beastie back. Now at this point, the instance of combat is now complete, and you are able to move on to your next action. In addition to using your beastie's attacks, you may also use their powers if they have one. Powers can be printed on a beastie or artifact, and can be identified by their white text surrounded by a blue background. A power can be activated by fatiguing the page with the power. We haven't dug into traits at all yet, but will in another video. There's one trait, however, that is important for the next couple of actions that you can perform. If a page has the trap trait, you are able to play it face down in the arena, either under a page that doesn't have a trap under it yet, or by itself elsewhere in the arena. A trap is activated when the page on top of it is targeted by an attack, or if your opponent attacks a face-down trap page directly. If your trap page is targeted and activated, you must pay its aura cost immediately. If you cannot, the trap fizzles and is discarded into your afterlife. In addition to playing new traps, you're allowed to move your existing ones under another beastie or artifact you control. Each trap page can only be moved once per turn. You now know all the available actions that you can perform on your turn. The last thing to consider about performing an action is the priority window after an action is taken. Once an action has been completed, a new priority window opens up. This priority window gives your opponent the opportunity to play anytime pages first, quickly followed by you getting the same opportunity. So let's say you performed all the actions you want to perform on your turn. Like the start of your turn, there is an end of turn step as well. Once you declare that you are ending your turn, another priority window opens up, where you have the chance to play anytime pages, followed by your opponent. After the priority window is passed, end of turn effects on any permanent pages will occur, and then play is passed to your opponent to begin their turn. In the next video, we'll go more in depth on the different traits and terra bonuses you may find on a page. If you're curious and want to dive deeper into the rules of MetaZoo, we highly suggest you go to MetaZooGames.com and click on the Gameplay tab in the header to access the official gameplay resources provided by MetaZoo. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.